All right, Shalom. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh. Bahasham Yahweh Shah, Bahasham Chakodash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of the millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of the tabernacles of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, wherever you may be. Wherever you may be, to you I say Shalom and Shalom. Shalom. All right, we are in the book of Joshua, chapter 14. Very short chapter, very straightforward, not much to talk about. All right, so let's get reading. So it says, and these are the countries, Caleb's request, right? Caleb, right? These are the countries which the children of Israel inherited in the land of Canaan, which Eleazar the priest and Joshua the son of Nun and the heads of the fathers of the tribes of the children of Israel distributed for an inheritance to them. Because remember, way back in Moses, when Moses was still around, it was most sort of centered around all this heavy, lifting, that was placed upon Moses' shoulders. If I'm correct, that was his father-in-law Jethro that gave him the idea to, break up these responsibilities. Let the higher matters that need to come to you, and things that don't necessarily need to come to you, let there be leaders amongst the tribes. All right. So that has always been that way. Okay, even today, in real time. So it says, by lot was their inheritance, as Yahweh commanded by the hand of Moses, for the 9 tribes and for the half tribe. For Moses had given the inheritance of 2 tribes and half tribe on the other side of Jordan. All right. Which in the last chapter we read about Gad and Reuben, and then the half tribe of Manasseh, which were more further north, but they were all on the east side of the Jordan River. All right. Taking up some of Ammon's lands, as a matter of fact. But unto the Levites, he gave none inheritance among them, because as we already talked about in the last chapter as well, the Levites were the priest. Okay, they get the portion from things that were coming in. As a matter of fact, let's see if we just because I believe I just looked not too long back. Uh, yeah, there you go. Numbers. We use that. Numbers 32, 39. What else is down here? Okay, that's it. Oh, wait. Uh, that's even better right there. Let's use that. Deuteronomy 3 and 12. And this land which we possessed at that time from Aroer, which is by the river Arnon, and have Mount Gilead, and the cities thereof gave I unto the Reubenites and to the Gadites, and the rest of Gilead and all Bashan, being the kingdom of Og, gave I unto the half tribe of Manasseh, all the region of Argob, with all Bashan, which was called the land of giants. Jair, the son of Manasseh, took all the country of Argob unto the coast of Geshuri and Maachathai, and called them after his own name, Bashan Havothjair, unto this day. And I gave Gilead unto Machir, and unto the Reubenites and unto the Gadites I gave from Gilead, even unto the river Arnon, half the valley, and the border, even unto the river Jabbok, which is the border of the children of Ammon, the plain also in Jordan, and the coast thereof, from Kinnereth, even unto the sea, and the plain, even the salt sea, under Ashdod Pisgah, eastward. All right, and when you get down here, actually this takes us back to Joshua 13, but I really want to further, back precepts. So probably should have went through the numbers instead. It's all good because it's all the same history here. Well, yeah, that's pretty much what because that was the last chapter that we read. So I mean, it's there. All right. But unto the tribe of Levi, Moses gave not any inheritance. To Yahweh, power of Israel, was their inheritance as he said unto them. Okay. As a matter of fact, let me see real quick. Let's see. The priest, Deuteronomy 18:1, the portion of the Levites, right? The priest, the Levites, and all the tribe of Levi shall have no part nor inheritance with Israel. They shall eat the offerings of Yahweh made by fire in his inheritance. I'm sorry, oh yeah, it did say in his inheritance. I don't have my glasses on, Slaki. Right, in his inheritance. Therefore shall they have no inheritance among their brethren. Yahweh is their inheritance, as he had said unto them, because of the priest, lawyer, all right, joined unto me by way of that priesthood, which was anointed. And that wasn't just, oh, okay, Aaron, take his sons, make the garments, All right. And no, it was actually a process that they had to go through. Okay. Even before they could be fully consecrated to put on the garments and begin the operation of the priesthood. It wasn't just, a one day event like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do with them. And, because they're Levites, da da da. No, it actually, that was actually a process in purifying Aaron and his sons, all right, for them to be able to even wear the garments and then, operate the priesthood, right? But you can read about that as you go back into the books of Exodus. Okay. It says, and this shall be the priest do uh, the and this shall be the priest to do from the people, from them that offer a sacrifice, whether it be ox or sheep, and they shall give unto the priest the shoulder and the two cheeks of the maw, the first fruit also of thy corn, of thy wine, of thine oil, and the first of the fleece of thy sheep shalt thou give him. For Yahweh thy power had chosen him out of all thy tribes to stand to minister in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, him and his sons forever. All right, meaning being from the lineage of Aaron, because they begin with Aaron, and anyone down the line who was a Levite of the lineage of Aaron, okay, had a responsibility, all right, to operate under the Levitical priesthood, okay, and some there are very important figures that popped up, that who like hey, just one example, Ezra or Esdras in the Apocrypha, same person, okay, and many others like that. Yeah, will individual pop up and they're a priest, okay, and they're a priest for a reason because they're a direct lineage of Aaron, all right, the original high priest, all right. And if a Levite come from any of thy gates out of all Israel, where he has sojourned, because we mentioned that, all right, the Levites didn't get land, okay, they got suburb cities for themselves and their substance and thing. I believe it says that in chapter 14 as we go back and read it. But yeah, they didn't get land. They got suburb cities for the cattle and the substance and things that they own, okay. And so their portion, as you see, we read about, their portion of, meat and things of that nature, okay, to sustain themselves, and any other kind of things that were coming their way were all of, them being the closest to the Lord as the Levitical priest. And if a Levite come from any of thy gates out of all Israel, where he has sojourned, and come with all the desire of his mind unto the place which Yahweh shall choose, then he shall minister in the name of Yahweh his power, as all his brethren the Levites do, which stand there before the power, Yahweh. They shall have like portions to eat beside that which cometh of the sale of his patrimony. All right. I'm not sure what you see what Mamkar sale, where things sold to sell. So it's going to selling and it says of his patrimony. Okay, so it's really straightforward there. Matter of fact, I'll give this 18:8 KJV. He may eat his share of the sacrifices and offerings, even if he also receives support from his family. Okay, so that's straightforward there. All right, because that was a right as a Levite. So let's go back. Yep. So verse 4 says, okay, verse 4 says, for the children of Joseph were two tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim. Okay, because we know uh, those were the boys that he birthed, all right, in his captivity. Okay, which I guess towards the end of his life, it didn't seem much as a captivity because he was second in command, all right, in the land of Egypt. But that's what the Lord, wanted him to do, all right. It was for a bigger purpose. It wasn't just, oh, I want Joseph to be the second ruler, all right, in Egypt. No, there was a bigger purpose. And honestly, it was the main bigger purpose is survival of his family, all right, because there was a terrible famine 7 years straight. Okay, but let's keep going. For the children of Joseph were two tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim. Therefore they gave no part unto the Levites in the land, save cities to dwell in, with their suburbs for their cattle and for the substance. That's what we just mentioned there. See, the actual land mass went to the other tribes, all the other tribes except for Levi. Levi didn't actually have the landmass, but they had different suburb cities on all the other tribes because you have to have a priest in every land. So they were given suburb cities everywhere in all the tribes' lands. Okay. It says, as Yahweh commanded Moses, so the children of Israel did as they divided the land. Going back to us, still been under Moses, said way back then. All right. Then the children of Judah came unto Joshua and Gilgal, and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, said unto him, Thou knowest the thing that Yahweh said unto Moses, the man of God, concerning me and thee in Kadesh Barnea. All right, so he's bringing back to mind, all right, something that was said in the past. 40 years old was I when Moses, the servant of Yahweh, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to espy out the land, and I brought him word again, as it was in mine heart. Nevertheless, my brethren that went up with me made the heart of the people melt, but I wholly followed Yahweh my power. Yeah, because they gave a false report. Okay, they gave it a report coming from the standpoint of a man that was afraid. All right, but him on the other hand was like, hey, we about to take heads off. And Moses swear on that day, saying, Surely the land whereon thy feet have trodden shall be thine inheritance, and thy children's forever, because thou hast wholly followed Yahweh my power. Yeah, and I'm sure if the precept would come up where that was said, but yeah, he's bringing it back to remembrance. Remember, this happened, that happened, and this was said, and that was said. All right, so now we're here. All right, this is coming to pass. So I'm reminding you, what, our former leader Moses said. Uh, Numbers 14. Let's see. Also, number. Oh, it says in 13 and 14. Oh, wait, did we not click it? Oh, I see. I see why. I was looking past it because it's just that one box. Okay, here we go. See if we can find it here. Okay. Surely they shall not see. Let's get 22. Numbers 14:22. Because all those men which have seen my glory and my miracles, which I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, and have tempted me now these 10 times, and have not hearkened to my voice, surely they shall not see the land which I swore unto their fathers, neither shall any of them that provoke me see it. But my servant Caleb, because he had another spirit with him, and had followed me fully, him will I bring into the land where into he went, and his seed shall possess it. Okay, and Caleb, great Caleb is a dog, right? Caleb, yeah, dog, because dogs are what known as very loyal. All right, they call it man's best friend, right? Son of Hezron and grandson of Perez, and great grandson of Judah, and the father of Hur, and grandfather of Caleb the spy. So it's talking about another Caleb, because it says the godly son of Jephunneh and the faithful spy who reported the promised land favorably and urged his captivity. There you go, which is what we just mentioned, right? And he didn't give us the exact words of Moses, but that was closest we're gonna get it without having to jump through so many hoops just to find a couple scriptures there. Okay, move my ticker. So let's keep going. And Moses swore on that day, saying, "Surely the land wherein," because that's still in the exact verse. I just was hoping for a different wording there. Surely the land whereon thy feet have trodden shall be thine inheritance, and thy children's forever, because thou hast wholly followed Yahweh my power. And we just read the account of why exactly that was being said, right? So it says, and now behold, Yahweh hath kept me alive, as he said, these 40 and 5 years, even since Yahweh spake this word unto Moses, while the children of Israel wandered in the wilderness. And now, lo, I am this day 85 old, which is 85 years old. It says, as yet I am as strong this day as I was in the day that Moses sent me. As my strength was then, even so is my strength now for war, both to go out and to come in. Okay, and this is something I want to look into real quick, because Caleb pretty much he still had that vigor within him. All right, when you pull his word up, we'll have to jump a little hoops, but we'll get to it. I'll show you. All right, so we'll just grab that KJV there. All right, Deuteronomy 34:7. Um, pull that up, and as a matter of fact, let me just click on it one more time just in case. Okay, so we have the KJV. And then it's right here where it says, his eye was not dim, nor his natural force abated. Now, what we want is natural force, but we get the word abated real quick just because it goes along with what we're looking into. So it says to flee or escape, all right, to disappear, all right. So when you go into natural force, all right, it says moisture, freshness, what? Vigor, all right. And now when you go into the word vigor, okay, so I mentioned this word to show you everything: physical strength and good health. It also says effort, energy, enthusiasm. What did he just say? And I'm ready to get boogie right now, okay, on this war dance floor, even at the age of 85. All right, I'm ready. Okay, so Caleb was a when hey he has the perfect name, Kalab, man. All right, which means dog. He was all in. Okay, even at the age of 85, he was like, let's go. Just like when I first was sent out as a spy. Okay, when I was much younger. Hey, I'm ready right now. Okay, Latin vigor, be lively. See, was he not very lively? Let's go back to the scripture. Okay, so it says his natural force, nor his natural force abated. That vigor, right? Because when another version, in other versions, it will say vigor. So his natural vigor did not diminish. So let's go back, pull it together. All right. So it says Joshua 14:11, as yet I am as strong this day as I was in the day that Moses sent me, as my strength was then, even so is my strength now for war, both to go out and to come in. So now you see why we pull up the word vigor. See? Now therefore give me this mountain whereof Yahweh spake in that day, for thou heardest in that day how the Anakims were there, and that the cities were great and fenced. If so be Yahweh will be with me, then I shall be able to drive them out, as Yahweh said. And Joshua blessed him and gave unto Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, Hebron for an inheritance. And that was a major city. Because David reigned what, 7 years in Hebron, and then the rest from what, Jerusalem, which was a total of what was it, 40 years if I'm correct, something like that. All right, but if I'm correct, 7 of those years, the first years was from Hebron. And if I'm correct, there's also a lot of our ancestors, quite a few of our ancestors that were important that were buried in Hebron. If I'm not thinking about another city, Abraham and some others, but I might be thinking about something else if I'm correct. But yeah, but the point still remains that Hebron is a very important city. All right. Now it's not Jerusalem, but it's still a very important city. And as we're going back to the account, hey, this was promised to Caleb. Okay, and he has kept his fight for this, and now he's because of that he's bringing back to mind a promise. All right, so it says, and Joshua blessed him and gave unto Caleb the son of Jephunneh Hebron for an inheritance. Hebron therefore became the inheritance of Caleb the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite unto this day, because that he wholly followed Yahweh, power of Israel. Okay, and I'm pretty sure that was a beautiful city too. And the name of Hebron before, and this same Caleb is going to be some brother in the world one day, all right, in the kingdom to come. And all that noise, in the kingdom to come, and receive their Hebron, okay, possibly for his city, okay. Let's finish. Hebron therefore became the inheritance of Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, unto this day, because that he wholly followed Yahweh, power of Israel. And the name of Hebron before was Kirjath Arba, which Arba was a great man among the Anakims, and the land had rest from war. So this Arba, all right, one of the Anakim probably was a great man in the city of Kirjath Arba before the Israelites came and took them down. Okay, and now the city has been, as promised, given to Caleb for an inheritance. All right, so that's the end of Joshua chapter 14. It was a little break in between the other chapters, which are, once again, as we mentioned in the last chapter, referring to the lands that were parted to the Israelites, which actually there was some in this chapter too. But that portion about Caleb was very important because that was a promise, all right, particularly directly to Caleb, okay? So he had to receive that. But as we go on, we continue talking about all the lands and how they were part of, to the 12 tribes of Israel. But we've covered what was on the east side of the Jordan, and then we covered Caleb's special portion, and then we continue from there. So, Lord willing, you were edified to next time, Asherah. I'm going to say shalom.